Merħba, kulħadd. Merħba għal konferenza stampa ta' Science in the City. Din hija il-15 edizzjoni tagħna il għaddejjin issa. U illum għandna xi sija u nofs flimkien issa. L-ewwel ħan nitkellem jiena, ħan introduċi l-programm. Mbagħad ħajkun hemm silsila ta' speakers li ħajtkellmu fuq aspetti differenti fuq tema tagħna fuq riċerka, edukazzjoni, arti kif jippreferu. Grazzi tal-li ġejtu. Welcome everyone to the press conference of Science in the City. I will be launching the program for this year. We're very proud of it. We've been working very hard. When we finish a Science in the City, we start planning the next one. It takes a lot of work, and this year we had to work harder than usual to make it happen. We have over the years worked locally but also internationally. We've attracted people from the UK, Italy, many Poland, many different countries. This year we're having artists and researchers from at least the UK, Spain, and if I'm not mistaken, Italy. And every year we get around 30,000 people coming. We do a survey every year which shows us that the festival is enjoyed by most of the people who come, over 90%. For us, it's very important that we evaluate the festival, but what's more important for us is the effect it has on people, on what they think research and who can do researchers, who can do research in what and who can be a researcher. And that we've always seen a positive impact on people. So, all right, just to remind you, this is the highlights video of last year. This is all the fun we had and all the people who came. And it was remarkable seeing all the NGOs, government authorities, industry, student organizations, researchers in Malta, engaging people with virtual reality, robotics, artworks that stimulate our minds, get us to think and think differently. And this year, this is really what we want to focus on. Our theme is Research, Resist, Reimagine. This is very important for us. We want people to ask questions. Research, it's about curiosity, overlaps a lot with creativity and the arts. Explore evidence, these sort of things. But it's also important for us, I think, in Malta now more than ever to really invest in research. Research and innovation are key, as well as our education. I think there we can invest more. Malta has changed. Malta has advanced in ways I think many of us couldn't imagine. That's where the resist part starts to come in. It's there to think about how we can challenge the assumptions. We hear a lot of misinformation, fake news, and these sort of things. And these are important for us to resist and to know how to. So we need the information, the knowledge through education to know how what is real and what is not out there. My own father, I think, yesterday shared one of these internet memes. It had some useful advice in it, some I didn't know, like it's better to take your pills with room temperature water than cold water. I didn't know that, it makes sense. But then he also told me that, for example, the mobile phones, don't use them if they're on low battery because of the radiation, which there is research also at the University of Malta that shows that this does not affect your health, for example. It only, the problems that we're seeing were with big masts if you're standing close to them for a long period of time, which does not happen. And it's mostly warming up the body, not cancer. So these are important distinctions for us to know. Resisting is also, we get misinformation from many different sources. It can be from companies, it can be from our institutions, it can be from citizens, obviously. So we need to resist this. And reimagining, thinking differently um, about the problems that Malta has and the opportunities research provides. I think this is key for us because the what we're facing with mobility issues, transport, education, and how it's changing. We have a lot of issues in Malta, but these are opportunities for us. And I think that this is important to showcase also in a festival, um, as it builds trust with our citizens. So I want to really thank all these are our main sponsors this year. We have more. You can see our poster. There's even more than this. Um, but I really want to thank all these institutions, Esplora, Scienza Malta, the EU Jamrai project, Kunsil għall-Arti Malti, the Arts Council Malta, and the Ministry of Education and Sport, Ministry of Justice, Research and Innovation. Without their support, this year the festival really would not have happened. The RIDT, which are based at the University of Malta, they're linked to it, were also vital in supporting us. And the festival is run by the University of Malta and Malta Chamber of Scientists. Something we've done differently this year is we set up a festival board. These were key to helping us improve the festival and also keep the festival running. You'll hear from some of them today. Professor Simon Fraber is our board chairperson. I won't go through them all, but we have members from the Ministry of Education and National Skills Council, but we want to expand this also to include people, important stakeholders like Esplora and Scienza Malta. This is our TV promo. Maybe I put the sound on. So this is an artist from our performance festival, Sean Riffa, and we hope you like that. Grazzi ħafna. So these are some of the things you can find at Science in the City. So as you saw, sharks. This event has already sold out. It's happening in five days' time. We're very proud of that. This is working with Shark Lab Malta. And also, this is a collaboration between the Spanish artist Pep Walls from Catalan and BirdLife Malta and Professor Joseph Carwani from the University of Malta. So they're doing a workshop on light pollution in Malta. This is an important problem linked to our team. So there's also this really interesting idea from the Malta Festival of Ideas and Argotti Gardens also. They're working, doing this event, which is seeing how plants can generate energy. This is a company from the Netherlands and also Malta as well. So this is some of the innovations happening. These are all events happening before our main festival. So we've expanded to have all these pre-festival events. This is our Sensories Hub. It's funded by APS Bank. Second year running. We're very proud of this. And we've generated about 5 events. There's going to be many occupational health practitioners coming. And there's going to be things like yoga, dance, movement, all tied to science as well. This is our brand of getting creative, artistic professions, combining that with science as well. And a lot of these will be for people who are neurodivergent. So the Free Street Festival, our main event. That video you saw, a lot of it was from it and what happened last year. Everything is hands-on. This is our map. bit bigger than last year, approximately the same number of stands. We've got a massive area by Scienza Malta and Esplora. And Jamrai also on microbial resistance, they'll talk about that later, are doing a walkthrough experience. We'll have artworks there, a dark room, which you can enter and see glow in the dark artworks, and a lot of different things ranging from health, technology, VR, robotics, UM racing team, the robotics team, and lots of others, to be honest. These, there's over 90 stands, so it's incredible. Um, this is happening at the same time, but it's a satellite event. This is also already fully booked. So I apologize for those who tried to book and didn't manage because I got some messages. But this is a very interesting collaboration between the Malta Chamber of Scientists, Professor Alexandra Bonici, and the Malta Philharmonic Orchestra, the youth section. So this is really cool, really cool things. So mathematics, engineering, and music, science of music, something very beautiful. And to think that in a week, without any advertising, these things get fully booked is incredible. So we have Charlie Hooper coming. So this, we've split up our street and performance festivals. Street Festival, 25th, 26th of September on Triton Fountain, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. 6 to 7 November, Sala San Domenico, and other venues around Valletta. We also have something with Co Cathedral as well, something very exciting, which we will reveal later. Um, Charlie Hooper was one of the people involved in doing the Shazam app, which I think most of you know, or some of you at least. So we're very proud. He's going to be combining visuals with his music, his piano music. This is something quite incredible. We'll bring it tomorrow. When we got the application, we didn't believe it, to be honest. But then we met him and he convinced us. So Rowena Zamzamit, this is for adults, L'Eredita Silenzi. Um, it's funded by a number of different organizations, not just us, and is talking about the silences, the impacts they have on us, mental health, and these sort of really important issues in today's world, which we all really face. Another one, I won't go into that much detail about it, but this is Dr. James Carlo, the peer-reviewed punchline. So science stand-up comedy, in brief. We also have a science pub quiz happening in a different location. So some exciting things. We're focusing more on adults. So these are all researchers. They're being trained by the artist, producer, actor Malcolm Gallagher. Okay, these are our main events. Um, Slightly overrun. I apologize. And also, a big thank you to the team. I won't name them all, or I'll get their names wrong. This is without them, this festival does not happen. You can see a group of interns there. These are coming from all over the world, from um, Turkey, Montenegro, Finland, Bangladesh, Germany, Tunisia. It's Estonia, Malta, the UK. It's incredible. And on the right, you can see a lot of the managers and the people who support our finances, our interns, our logistics, and so on. Thank you very much. Grazzi ħafna. Issa ħanalaq dan il-laptop u ħanintroduċi il-Professor Claudia Borg li hija membru tal-Kunsill tal-Malta Chamber of Scientists. Kemm immexxi il-laptop ta' itlet.
Honorable ministers, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here on behalf of the Malta Chamber of Scientists for the launch of Science in the City 2026. Every generation inherits a unique set of challenges. Some are familiar and have persisted for decades. Others emerge unexpectedly, demanding solutions that did not exist yesterday. Whether it is improving healthcare, addressing climate change, ensuring food and water stability, and embracing artificial intelligence responsibly, strengthening our economies, or creating a more inclusive society, one thing remains constant. Tomorrow's challenges cannot be solved with yesterday's thinking. This is why research matters. Research is far more than the pursuit of knowledge for its own sake. It is society's way of asking difficult questions, challenging assumptions, and seeking better answers. It allows us to understand the world around us, but also to improve it. The Malta Chamber of Scientists firmly believes that research is one of the greatest investments a country can make into its future. It drives innovation, strengthens our economy, and improves quality of life, and equips us to respond to the challenges of an ever changing world. It is therefore fitting that this year's theme is Research, Resist, Reimagine. These three words capture the very essence of scientific endeavor. Research begins with curiosity. It begins by asking questions that others may have not considered. It challenges assumptions, gathers evidence, and gradually builds knowledge that can transform lives. But research alone is not enough. Research also requires us to resist. It requires us to resist complacency. It asks us not to accept that the way things are done today is necessarily the way things should remain tomorrow. Because it is easy to become comfortable with the status quo. Yet, if we simply accept today's reality, we also accept inequalities that continue to exist within our societies. We accept the continued depletion of our planet's precious natural resources. We accept diseases that deserve better treatments, barriers that prevent people from participating fully in society, and technologies that could be safer, cleaner, and more sustainable. Researchers choose not to accept these limitations. Research teaches us something that extends well beyond the laboratory. It teaches us intellectual humility. Every experiment carries the possibility that our original thinking is incomplete. Every new piece of evidence challenges us to rethink what we knew. Science progresses not because it refuses to change, but because it has the courage to change whatever evidence demands of it. That willingness to question, to challenge, and to improve is what drives progress. And having resisted complacency, we can then reimagine. We must reimagine how to generate energy, how to diagnose diseases, how to produce food, how to protect biodiversity, how to design our cities, and how we harness emerging technologies responsibly. Every scientific breakthrough begins with someone willing to imagine that there is a better way. But imagining does not stop within research itself. As researchers, we must also resist the temptation to remain within our comfort zones. Publishing in scientific journals and presenting at conferences remains fundamental to scientific progress, but they cannot be where our responsibility ends. If society invests in research, then society deserves to understand it. Research carried out in Malta is made possible through significant local and international investment. Research grants allow our institutions to employ researchers, support postgraduates, establish collaborations, and invest in the sophisticated infrastructure and equipment that modern research requires. These investments in knowledge, innovation, and ultimately in society itself are very positive. Events such as Science in the City demonstrate the value of that investment. They allow the public to see how research funding is transformed into discoveries that improve healthcare, protect our environment, strengthen our economy, and enrich our daily lives. The Malta Chamber of Scientists strongly believes that research should not remain confined to laboratories or academic journals. It should be proudly communicated to everyone. Knowledge has its greatest impact when it is shared, understood, and inspires others. That responsibility has become even greater in today's world. Young people often consume information differently from any generation before them. They navigate a digital landscape where exceptional educational content exists alongside an overwhelming volume of misinformation. Scientific evidence now competes for attention with opinion, speculation, and content designed to generate clicks rather than understanding. If research, if researchers are absent from these conversations, others will fill that space. Therefore, we need to reimagine how we communicate science. We need to engage people where they are, using approaches that are accessible, engaging, and evidence based. Science communication is no longer an optional activity, it is an essential part of the research process itself. This is precisely why Science in the City is so important. For one weekend every year, science moves beyond our university campuses and research centers into the heart of our communities. It creates opportunities for conversations between researchers and the public, allows people to experience science rather than simply to hear about it. It demonstrates that research is not something distant or abstract, but something that touches every aspect of our lives. Perhaps most importantly, it inspires. Among the children and young people who will visit the festival this September, there will surely be tomorrow's scientists, engineers, doctors, entrepreneurs, educators, and innovators. A single conversation, a single demonstration, or a single movement of curiosity may inspire a future career dedicated to improving lives of others in the future. Before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere appreciation for Professor Edward Duca and the entire Science in the City team. Organizing an event of this scale requires remarkable dedication, from developing an exciting program to coordinating logistics, securing sponsorships, and bringing together the many partners who make this festival possible. I would also like to thank the hundreds of researchers, students, and volunteers who generously give their time and to share their passion and expertise with the public. Your enthusiasm is what transforms this festival into a celebration of curiosity, discovery, and learning. The Malta Chamber of Scientists believes that research is not simply about generating knowledge, it is about generating positive change. Positive change begins when we have the courage to question, to resist complacency, and to imagine something better. So today, as we launch Science in the City 2026, let us celebrate those who research with curiosity, who resist the temptation to accept today's challenges as inevitable, and who have the courage to reimagine a better future for all of us. Because every breakthrough begins with someone who refuses to believe that today's answers are the best answers. Thank you. Sorry.
Grazie ħafna, Professor Claudia Borg. Thank you very much. That was an excellent speech. You touched on some really vital points, I think, over there. And now I'd like to introduce Professor Simon Fabri, the pro-rector from the University of Malta. Grazie ħafna.
Thank you, Edward. Honorable ministers, distinguished guests, colleagues. Um, Science in the City. It's Malta's Science and Arts Festival, right? Ongoing since 2012 under the coordination of Professor Edward Duca as part of the University of Malta and the Malta Chamber of Sciences. It has become a tradition, a much awaited national event, and something that we need to see progressing and developing even further. Because, as mentioned previously by the other speakers, research is an essential aspect of any modern country, and in order to progress and advance socially, economically, educationally, culturally, research is the key thing. Science in the City is Malta's contribution to the European-wide event called European Researchers' Night, where researchers and research across different European cities are simultaneously brought closer to the general public on the same night, which this year happens to be on the 25th of September. The aim is to show the community and society how research in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, so-called STEAM subjects, contributes to society in meaningful and impactful ways. The festival reaches out and engages with the community in enjoyable and interactive ways. It is an opportunity for meeting researchers and seeing their works in a relaxed and informal setting. As mentioned previously, this year's theme for Science in the City is Research, Resist, and Reimagine. This shows how multidisciplinary research collaboration, which connects science and technology with the culture and the arts, promotes more holistic and critical thinking that challenges bias and preconceived notions. Such a mindset stimulates creativity and leads to stronger and more innovative, impactful, and inclusive solutions. The festival also shows how the study and understanding of STEAM could be creative, enjoyable, and within reach. We particularly look forward to the participation of young students, families, and children to dispel any false notions or impressions that it's hard and difficult to study STEAM and become a professional in the STEAM areas or become a professional researcher. Or even worse, the bad mentality that research is boring and dull. As a researcher myself, I can tell you it's far from that. It's very exciting. I trust this year's Science in the City will be as successful as in the previous years, if not more, despite the unusual funding challenges that we faced this time around. In this regard, I'd like to thank the various sponsors who stood with us in financially supporting the event despite these difficulties, particularly the Ministry for Education and Sports, the Ministry for Justice, Research and Innovation, the Ministry for Arts, Culture and National Heritage, the Arts Council Malta, Scienza Malta, Esplora, and the University's Research, Innovation and Development Trust. Without their support this year, we would not have had this event. We look forward to seeing you all on the 25th and 26th September in Valletta. Thank you for your attention.
Grazie ħafna, Professor Simon Fabri, u vera ħadd gost naħdem miegħek dis-sena fuq il-festival. Thank you very much, Professor Simon Fabri. Issa nrid nintroduċi l-Onorevoli Dr. Byron Camilleri, il-Ministru ta' Edukazzjoni u Sport f'Malta. I'd like to introduce the Honorable Dr. Byron Camilleri, the Minister of Education and Sport. Grazie ħafna.
Bonjour kulħadd, good morning, I shall speak in Maltiż. Bonġu, nsellem daw kollha li qed tagħmlu dan possibbli li bis-saħħa tagħkom matul daw snin kollha li lkom tagħmlu Science of the City għamiltu xi ħaġa speċjali ħafna naħseb. Illi mill-università nexxielkom li x-xjenza toħroġ fit-toroq tagħna, toħroġ fil-belt kapitali tagħna u forsi huwa l-akbar riklam tal-università dan illi nexxielkom tmorru għand in-nies b'mod dirett u anke tattiraw dawk kollha li jistgħu jissieħbu magħkom matul is-snin il ġejjin. Illi allura huwa l-aktar mod fl-opinjoni tiegħi illi jqarreb lill-università, lix-xjenza, però mbagħad sew jekkux mal-istudenti, sew jekkux mal-istudenti futuri u sew jekkux mal-pubbliku in ġenerali. Naħseb pajjiżna meta nitkellmu fuq ix-xjenza ħadd m'għandu dubju minnha, ħadd m'għandu dubju x-xjentisti ta' pajjiżna u ħadd m'għandu dubju mill-ħiliet u t-talenti tagħna. Forsi xi drabi bħala soċjetà in ġenerali nitkellmu anqas milli suppost għandna nagħmlu fuq l-importanza tax-xjenza għaliex ix-xjenza tagħti ħafna lis-soċjetà tagħna. Mhux biss l-erf, iżda ovvjament il-benesseri tas-soċjetà tagħna. U ngħid dan mhux għax miżewweġ mara li ġejja mid-dinja tagħkom tax-xjenza li studjat u taħdem fix-xjenza imma għaliex bħal ħafna mis-soċjetà tagħna konvint illi l-irwol importanti li tgħaddi fis-soċjetà. U allura dan il-festival minn barra li jagħti pjaċir li tmur issegwi u tarah, però wkoll jista' anke jressaq aktar lill-istudenti lill-żgħażagħ li jersu anke lejn suġġetti STEM. Ma naħsibx li wasalna, però rajna progress kbir fl-aħħar snin fl-għażla ta' studenti li jażlu dawn is-suġġetti, però minkejja li għamilna progress nemmen li għadna lura ħafna wkoll. U allura jeħtieġ anke f'dan is-settur naħdmu ħafna biex kemm jista' jkun nkunu nistgħu anke aħna bħala Malta nġibu riżultati aħjar. Niftakarkom fil-bidu illi għamiltu Science in the City kont riesa jien flimkien magħluq biex konna studenti flimkien tliften ikbar minna illi konna għadna studenti hawnhekk fl-università dak iż-żmien u niftakarkom illi tagħmlu Science in the City. Illum minn dak il-bidu modest illum wasaltu anke li tabżu 30,000 ruħ li jsegwu Science in the City. Li hija xi ħaġa tajba ħafna u xi ħaġa li għall-oraturi li hemm prospetti tajbin u sbieħ illi anke din is-sena jerġa' ikun hemm l-istess. U allura derilna li bħala Ministeru tal-Edukazzjoni għandna nagħtu l-appoġġ sħiħ tagħna mhux biss il dan il-festival imma inizjattivi simili li anke tittieħdu mill-Università ta' Malta illi tista' twassal mhux biss l-istudju li jsir f'din iż-żona fl-università iżda wkoll li twasslu dan lill-pubbliku in ġenerali. Nieħu din l-okkażjoni anke fit-tnedija tal-festival li ovvjament iħeġġu kulħadd sabiex jattendi, però aktar u aktar min-naħa tagħna bħala Ministeru tal-Edukazzjoni l-għalliema lill-istudenti li jistgħu jattendu flimkien u jħeġġu l-istudenti tagħna sabiex jattendu għaliex żgur ser igawdu ħafna. Proset lil kulħadd l-organizzaturi kollha lil kull min għal darba oħra qed jaħdem fuq dan il-proġett li qed jagħmel ħafna u ħafna ġid. Grazzi.
Grazzi, onorevoli, vera ħadd kost kif tkellimt. Ma kontx naf li ħadsem fil-festival meta kont student hawnhekk, vera. Grazzi ħafna. U aħna għandna wkoll ħafna student organizations naħseb xi 20 li jieħdu sem waħdhom jieħdu sem ħaġa vera sabiħa għalina. Issa u biex ngħid ukoll il-Ministru tal-Edukazzjoni huwa wieħed mill-pilastri tal-komunikazzjoni tax-xjenza f'Malta jagħmlu ħafna proġetti fl-iskejjem u jużaw ukoll STEM imma wkoll STEAM xjenza u IT. Um, Nistieden issa l-Honorable Dr. Clifton Greenma, il-Ministeru ta' Ġustizzja, Riċerka u Innovazzjoni. I want to invite Honorable Dr. Clifton Greenma, the Minister of Justice, Research and Innovation. Thank you very much.
Grazzi Edward. Chris prepara li diskors ta' sija u nofs imma naħseb bħala ħin limitati. Dejjem ta' pjaċiri li inkollu università il għaliex il-post ġew pajjiżna illi għandu jkun il-bennina tal-ħsieb tal-eb ta' permezz ta' riċerka ta' permezz tal-innovazzjoni hija propri l-università. Biċċa xogħol importanti, rwol ċentrali, ngħid jiena bil-kunċetti illi jiddefinixxu anke jġustifika l-eżistenza tal-università, però rwol li ma jistax isir waħdu. Imma jrid isir ma' stakeholders oħra, il-gvern, l-industrija, l-privat, il-pubbliku in ġenerali. U allura naħseb illi Science in the City jorqod propju dawn il-punti kollha. Mhux ċajta mill-2012 kif tkellem il-Ministru qabli era oħra, konna għandna żgħażagħ, mhux hekk. Però jiena Science in the City għalija tfisser ħafna wkoll minħabba li kif għadt fil-press conference tas-sena l għaddiet Edward u ta' qabel jiena jkolli appuntament fil-kalendarji personali tiegħi minħabba li rrid noħod tfal. U dik hija xi ħaġa li tfisser ħafna. Il-fatt illi qegħdin noħorġu mir-reċint, mill-perimetru tal-Università hawnhekk ġewwa tal-Qroq u qed immorru hemm barra fejn jkollok il-familji Maltin u Mawċin għexieren ta' eluf ta' viżitaturi illi jieħdu gost iżuru dawk l-istens hija xi ħaġa importanti ħafna. Wara wieħed ikun riduttiv jaħseb li dawk l-istens huma sempliċement biċċa għodda li qed tintuża għal dakinhar. Huma għodda li jiżraw is-serrija l-impuh ta' tfal tagħna dwar karrieri, dwar opportunitajiet biex aħda pitada meta Edward ikun qed jillonċja 30 edizzjoni ta' Science in the City, ikollna tfal illi huma riċerkaturi, illi jaħdmu fis-settur. Dik hija xi ħaġa importanti għaliex fir-riċerka fl-innovazzjoni, fix-xjenza in ġenerali, l-kursità hija kruċjali. Il-mistoqsija jekk dak li din nagħmlu llum huwiex l-aqwa verżjoni, jekk jistax ikun hemm risposta differenti għall mistoqsijiet li dejjem wieġibna bl-istess mod għalihom. Jekk hemmx metodi differenti kif wieħed iwieġeb għal sfidi, jew inkella metodi differenti li joħolqu saħansitra opportunitajiet ġodda illi qatt ma konna ħsibna dwarhom. U allura meta nitkellmu dwar l-ikbar riżorsa ta' dan il-pajjiż li huwa il-poplu tagħna, huwa importanti li nibqgħu ninvestu fl-istess poplu. Naħseb illi Science in the City qiegħda tassigura propju dan kollu. Irrid ngħid grazzi li dis-sena qed nara kollaborazzjoni akbar minn snin oħra ma' Xjenza Malta. Xjenza Malta kibret, evolviet fl-aħħar snin u għandha rwol ċentrali ħafna ġewwa pajjiżna. Il-fatt li Science in the City taħdem jitfit ma' Xjenza Malta sabiex naraw li nimmassimizzaw dawk li huma ir-riżorsi tagħna naħseb li hija xi ħaġa importanti ħafna. It-tema ta' din is-sena, naħseb li t-tema hija waħda qawwija ħafna. Iġġal il kull wieħed waħda minnha nagħmlu mistoqsijiet lil nfusna dwar dak li rridu, dwar dak li nistgħu niksbu, dwar dak li l-komunità ta' riċerkaturi xjentisti ġew pajjiżna kapaċi jagħmlu. U naħseb li l-evidenza tipponta propju lejn dan kollu li jekk wieħed jirriċerka, jekk wieħed jaħdem jitfid ma' diversi stakeholders ġew pajjiżna kapaċi niksbu riżultati importanti. Jiena naħseb illi Science in the City mhijiex biss eżempju ċar jew inkella fatwali ta' fejn waslet ix-xjenza llum ġew pajjiżna, imma saħansitra ta' fejn għandna l-ambizzjoni illi naslu. Allura nħares il-qudiem sabiex bħalma għamilt fl-aħħar tista' tgħid 10 snin niġi hemmhekk ma' wliedi u nara l-ġmiel u l-kwalità għolja ta' xogħol illi għamiltu intom ir-riċerkaturi. Allura għal darba oħra grazzi tat-tim kollu illi jaħdem ħafna drabi mingħajr daqq ta' trombi u nħares il quddiem illi wara l-event li ħajsir mhux biss ġewwa l-belt imma anke postijiet oħra madwar pajjiżna tibdew taħdmu mal-ewwel ħalli s-sena dieħla jkollna saħansitra xi ħaġa ħadma. Grazzi ħafna.
Grazzi ħafna, Honorary Grima. Jalla li jkollna 30 edizzjoni ta' Science in City, ħad gost li għad. Se jaħseb jkollna support ta'kom. Wara se. U aħna vera rridu naħdmu ma' xjenza Malta u ma' nesplora għax naħseb hemm saħħa kbira li nistgħu nagħmlu billi nagħmlu dan għax huma ovvjament esploru pilastru enormi ta' komunikazzjoni ta' xjenza, speċjalment fuq STEAM. Thank you very much, Honorary Dr. Clifton Greenman. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Luke Dalli, the Chief Executive Officer of the Arts Council of Malta. Grazie ħafna, Dr. Luke.
Wara 13 sena kif qal Biden, il-Ministru Biden li tlaqna minn hawnhekk huwa dejjem pjaċir li nerġa' niġi l-Università u nara mhux biss it-tibdil infrastrutturali li sar għax għalina hawn kien biss car park. Illum huwa post fejn iż-żgħażagħ tagħna, fejn l-istudenti tagħna jitħarġu jitgħallmu dej upskill u għalhekk kuntent immens anke li l-amministrazzjoni tal-Università taħdem għal iktar spazji li fl-aħħar mill-aħħar dawn l-ispazji jistgħu jintużaw ukoll għal bżonn tal-artisti u l-kreattivi Maltin Oċin biex kull spazju jista' idur jew inkella jsir spazju kreattiv. Il-provettur għal xi ħaġa għal aħna l-istudjużi u r-riċerkaturi tista' tkun ukoll xi ħaġa fun and exciting. Fun and exciting meta nidħlu aħna fiha, ma meta r-riċerka bħala kreattivi u bħala nies tal-kultura intu għall-ħajja. Intu għall-ħajja, intu għall-kulur, intu anke ambitu artistiku kulturali. U propju Science in the City huwa propju dan. Science in the City huwa li naqbdu kunċetti xjentifiċi, kunċetti forsi naqra iktar komplikati għal nies oħra li mhumiex imdorrijin li x-xjenza tkun parti integrali minn ħajjithom. Intu għam il-ħajja. Intu għam il-ħajja kif? Li nagħmluhom iktar approachable, li nagħmluhom iktar għal kulħadd, komunitari. U fil-fatt l-Street Festival kif ukoll il-Performance Festival huma propju dak li naqbdu kunċetti komplikati, kunċetti xjentifiċi, kunċetti matematiċi u ntuhom lit-tfal tagħna liż-żgħażagħ tagħna lill-adulti u anke lill-anzjani. Imma ntuhomlhom ukoll b'toma iktar interessanti, b'toma artistika u kulturali. U għalhekk dan iż-żwieġ bejn ix-xjenza u l-arti u kultura huwa xi ħaġa li rridu nkomplu naħdmu għalih u anke bħala Kunsell Malti għall-Arti through l-Art Support Scheme ukoll infondu għaliex mingħajr Science in the City aħna qed nara l-Danny Lawli huwa d-direttur tal-istrateġija tagħna. Għandna strateġija li parti minnha hija r-riċerka, l-innovazzjoni, the-development u iktar milli hekk il-komunità. Il-Prof Stuka qed jagħmel propju hekk. Qed imur fi pjazza mhux qed jibqa' fil-labs hawnhekk, kollha sbieħ, kollha state of the art, però qed jinżel Pjazza Tritwani sabiex ix-xjenza u l-arti u l-kultura tkun xi ħaġa komunitarja. Ninżlu man-nies u ntuhielhom sabiex ikunu jistgħu jitgħallmu ma b'mod forsi naqra iktar interessanti, fun u li jkunu jistgħu jassorbu dawk il-kunċetti u jibqgħu jiftakruhom dak il-waqt. Din sena aktar minn 100 organizzazzjoni qed jikkontribwixxu għal dan il-proġett. U din hija xi ħaġa naħseb hija milestone profs. Għaliex qed naqbdu lil dawn nies kollha b'interessi differenti, b'għodod differenti u anke b'konoxxenza ta' suġġetti differenti sabiex jinaqdu flimkien u jagħmlu dan il-proġett possibbli. Issa meta ngħidu pjattaforma, hija pjattaforma għal riċerkaturi, però kollha artisti, studenti, NGO u anke entitajiet pubbliċi bħalna. Entitajiet pubbliċi li avvenimenti bħal dawn we long for them. Għaliex? Għaliex ma noħolquhomx aħna dan mhux event tal-Arts Council, però ġi xi ħadd persuna li għal 15-il sena ħadem li minn proġett kif qalu wkoll il-Ministri, minn proġett żgħir. Aħna meta konna l-Università Science in the City, forsi kien proġett fejn kienu jmorru 300 ruħ igawduh, illum eluf ta' eluf, futfol ta' kważi 30,000 persuna. Araw fejn waslu. Araw kemm irnexxielna niżviluppaw dan il-proġett, ovvjament id fit dejjem mal-Università ta' Malta u nemmen ukoll li anke bl-għajnuna ta' l-Esplora wkoll li qed jagħmlu li qed jagħtu through STEAM għajnuna kbira sabiex, ovvjament nara l-Merja hawnhekk li kienet ukoll parti mit-tim tal-Kunsill Malti għall-Arti u llum qiegħda twassal il-messaġġ xjentifiku imma through l-għodda tal-arti. U dik hija xi ħaġa li aħna we pride ourselves kuntent immens li qiegħda ssir, kuntent ukoll li ż-żewġ ministri hawnhekk kienu dejjem ta' appoġġ għas-setturi kreattivi u kulturali. Aħna ma nemnux li Ministeru wieħed tal-Kultura jista' jagħmel mirakli, però wkoll bħala gvern bħala riċerka u innovazzjoni, edukazzjoni, flimkien araw x'nistgħu noħolqu. Jiġifieri proset tax-xogħol li qegħdin tagħmlu, grazzi tal-li temmenu fil-logo tal-Kunsill Malti għall-Arti sabiex tkun parti minn dan il-proġett għaliex aħna kburin immens u kollha flimkien għandna għan wieħed li nwasslu il-messaġġ xjentifiku u l-kulturali fl-4 kantuni ta' Malta permezz ta' avveniment u produzzjoni bħal din. Grazzi u ovvjament good luck għal-realizzazzjoni ta' dan il-proġett.
Grazzi ħafna, Dr. Lubdarli, vera gost kif tkellimt. Ġew ftit eluf l-ewwel darba miljien. Imma ħadd gost l-affarijiet li qed. Vera nemmen bħalek li l-kreattività u r-riċerka huma essenzjali għal-Maltin. Issa irrid nistieden lil Miss Marianne Kawki li hija s-Senior Director tal-Esplora. Miss Marianne Kawki, the Senior Director tal-Esplora. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Ministri, Prorettur, kollegi antiki u kollegi ġodda. So, grazzi anki lill-Università ta' Malta, lill-Malta Chamber of Scientists, Science in the City, il-team kollu u l-partners kollha tal-li qed jieħdu sem u jagħmlu dan l-avveniment importanti possibbli. Jiena hekk kif qal sewwa Prożuka nitkellem f'isem Esplora li taqa' taħt Xjenza Malta u nemmnu li Science in the City fil-fatt tirrifletti il-missjoni ċentrali tagħna. Fejn tidħol ir-riċerka, fejn tidħol ix-xjenza u speċjalment fejn jidħol l-element biex nilqu lin-nies, lis-soċjetà, lill-komunità. Dan huwa wieħed mill-għanijiet importanti tal-Esplora bħalissa waqt li qed nitkellem qed tinħema l-istrateġija, abbozz tal-istrateġija għaliex Kalla jrid jirnexxi li minn hawn ftit ieħor niftħu għal konsultazzjoni pubblika fejn ħadd ikun jista' jieħu sehem f'din l-istrateġija u l-istrateġija tifforma madwar STEAM. Inħobb nispjega daqsxejn għax qed nagħmel daqsxejn ukoll ir-riċerka u d-dottorat tiegħi fejn nissepara fl-istess ħin nallaċċja il-kelma STEM u l-kelma STEAM. Meta ngħidu STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, huma speċifikament il-fields. Fil-każ ta' Esplora, meta nirreferu għal STEAM, nirreferu għal approach. Il-mod l-għodot kif inwasslu il-mezz xjentifiku. Dan l-aħħar kelli konversazzjoni u inserta dal-individwu jaf li jiena ġejja mill-kamp tal-arti, sewwa, allura qalli issa ħanwarbu xjenza u ħanifukaw fuq l-arti, Esplora mhijiex arti hija xjenza. Fir-realtà huwa żwieġ kif semma Luke, huwa żwieġ bejn it-tnejn. L-STEM fields kienu għadhom u jibqgħu. Huwa l-approach li nużaw li nimplementaw l-STEAM. Science in the City huwa ċavetta importanti, it's key to all this. Ġifiri, hija importanti għaliex qed nilħu xjenza tilħaq lin-nies. U aħna lina Science Communication hija propju dik li nilħu in-nies, nilħu in-nies bix-xjenza, xjenza fil-ħajja tan-nies għaliex fl-aħħar mill-aħħar ix-xjenza ngħixu qiegħda madwarna m'hemmx għalfejn tkun biss riċerkatur u akkademiku, imma anki ħajja ta' kuljum, tkun anzjan, tkun żagħżugħ, tkun persuna li tgħix id-dar fuq il-post tax-xogħol, jiġifieri hemm element xjentifiku kull fejn iddur u tħares. Il-kultura tal-kurżità. Il-kurżità hija importanti ħafna u nħossu li nitilfu ftit dal-element speċjalment fil-ġenerazzjonijiet iż-żgħar, ġenerazzjonijiet li tilgħin, speċjalment anke fis-sistema edukattiva tagħna, ġifieri fejn tidħol kurżità u transversal skills u nemmen li festival bħal dan qed jinkorpora dawn l-elementi kollha. Ma ntawwalx nikkonkludi xjenza Malta u esplora u hawnhekk kważi hija stqarrija pubblika din, nibqgħu kommessi tajjeb li nissapportjaw lil Science in the City u anki jien b'mod personali taf Edwards kemm huwa l-qalbi dejjem kienu jibqa' u li nibqgħu partners qrib ta' xulxin, kollaboraturi qrib ta' xulxin u qrib lejn il-pubbliku. Jiġifieri x-xjenza mhijiex biss li xi ħaġa naqraw fuqha, imma hija xi ħaġa li nesperjenzaw. U dik xi ħaġa li nemmnu fiha fl-Esplora u għalhekk għandna unur kbir u we're very proud li aħna niffurmaw parti minn dan il-festival Science in the City. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you ħafna, Marianne. Sorry, more word. Brandon, niskużaru. Ek tajab. Okay. Grazie ħafna, Marianne. Kawki vera ħad kost kif tkellimt. U naħseb li x-xogħol li qed jagħmel l-Esplora kien vera importanti għal komunikazzjoni ta' xjenza u s-sanku kol STEAM f'Malta. U għanna bżon ninsaħħu u naħlu fl-imkien ukoll. Nemmen ħafna fih. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Elaine Cozer. Thank you for your patience. From the EU GEMRI project. Dr. Elaine Cozer.
Biex nitkellem. Ma nitkellem bil-Malti, jekk ma jimpurtax. Mela, Onorevoli Ministru, mistednin distinti kif ukoll kollaboraturi u kollegi u kelliema li tkellmu b'tant passjoni. Good morning, quasi good afternoon illum. Illum qiegħda nirrappreżenta azzjoni konġunta Ewropea jisimha EU GEMRI 2. Din l-azzjoni konġunta għandha x'taqsam mal-reżistenza għall-antimikrobiċi u kif ukoll infezzjonijiet li għandhom x'jaqsmu mal-kura tas-saħħa. Fi ftit kliem, ir-reżistenza għall-antimikrobiċi hija dak li jiġri meta l-batterji u l-mikrobi ma jibqgħux jaħdmu fuqhom kif suppost il-mediċini li ġew żviluppati biex jittrattawhom. Din l-adattazzjoni qed twassal għal sitwazzjoni fejn infezzjonijiet li xi darba kienu faċli biex nikkurawhom qed isiru iktar komplikati biex jiġu trattati jekk mhux impossibbli. Minix ħanidħol ħafna fl-istatistika tagħha din il-biċċa, iżda nafu li din mhijiex xi ħaġa tal-futur. Lanqas mija retorika teoretika, hija xi ħaġa li qed inħossu l-effetti tagħha issa kemm f'Malta kif ukoll barra minn Malta u internationally. Qed naraw effett dirett, qed naraw ukoll effett fuq l-ekonomija u qed naraw ukoll li s-sitwazzjoni qed thedded ukoll is-suċċess tal-mediċina kif nafu llum, kemm fit-trattament ta' kundizzjonijiet bħall-kanċer kif ukoll it-trapjanti tal-organi u kull intervent kirurġiku ieħor li tista' taħseb fih. Jiġifieri huwa importanti aħna bħala tim Malti li qed jipparteċipa b'mod attiv fuq dan il-proġett huwa importanti li aħna nwasslu ċertu messaġġi għan-nies fil-komunità. Issa ftit minn dawn il-messaġġi ovvjament they are based on the vision, on the mindset li r-riċerka li hemm hemm barra, speċjalment ir-riċerka robusta li hija ħirġa minn dan il-proġett, dik ma tiġix trasferixxuta f'azzjoni b'mod awtomatiku. I'm mirroring what my previous speakers have also said. Huwa importanti li aħna niżviluppaw messaġġi li huma ċari, onesti bħala komunikaturi tas-saħħa pubblika u fuq kollox messaġġi li fuqhom wieħed jista' jagħmel azzjoni. Ma nistgħux ninsew li din ir-reżistenza għall-antimikrobiċi hija xi ħaġa li wieħed mill-fatturi li wassal għaliha huwa l-użu u l-abbuż tal-antibiotiċi u l-antimikrobiċi. Jekk inħarsu lejha b'mod min-naħa l-oħra, nafu wkoll li hemm affarijiet li aħna nistgħu nagħmlu lkoll fil-komunitajiet tagħna, fil-ħajja ta' kuljum tagħna biex nissalvagwardjaw l-effettività tal-antibiotics tagħna, tal-antibiotiċi tagħna. Hemm affarijiet li aħna fil-komunità, affarijiet bħal li ma nieħdux antibiotiċi meta ma jkollniex bżonn, li ma naqsmux ma' xulxin l-antibiotiċi tagħna, li ma nibdewx kors li qatt jifdal minn kors ta' qabel. Dawn huma kollha affarijiet li aħna nistgħu nagħtu l-kontribut tagħna. U għalhekk il-pakkett li għandu x'jaqsam dan il-proġett mal-komunikazzjoni qed nippruvaw inwasslu dawn it-tip ta' messaġġi. U allura Science in the City kien ovvjament wieħed mill-ewwel affarijiet li ddaħħal ġo moħħna meta qagħdna bil-qiegħda biex ngħidu isma' kif ħanġibu dawn il-messaġġi ġewwa l-komunità ta' Malta. Ħajkollna stand, inħeġġeġ lil kulħadd jiġi fuq din l-istand fejn ħajkunu jistgħu jaraw u jgawdu kemm eżibizzjoni wirja ta' arti li bħalissa qiegħda tivvjaġġa mal-Ewropa kollha, marret Ruma, marret Varsavja, marret Vienna, Pariġi u issa sal Malta u wieħed jista' jgawdi fil-ħin tiegħu 30 biċċa ta' arti minn illustratur minn kull pajjiż li qed jipparteċipa f'dan il-proġett fejn jista' jitgħallem mhux biss fuq x'inhi r-reżistenza għall-antimikrobiċi, imma jista' jitgħallem ukoll fuq l-affarijiet, l-azzjonijiet li jista' jagħmel hu fil-komunità biex jagħti il-kontribut tiegħu. Se jkun hemm ukoll ħafna attivitajiet kif nafu li tkun Science in the City fejn wieħed jista' jkollu dawn l-opportunitajiet to learn by doing. This is all about the interactivity of the festival. Se jkollna demonstrazzjonijiet, sfidi, quizzes, u mbagħad fl-aħħar mill-aħħar wieħed jista' jieħu lura d-dar miegħu xi affarijiet li mhux biss ħajju gost bihom imma ħajjitgħallem u li ħajjgħinuh jagħmel dan il-kambjament li forsi jkun irid jagħmel. Nirringrazzjakom u nirringrazzja wkoll lill-kollaboraturi tagħna ta' Science in the City u tal-ħidma kollha tagħhom u l-passjoni tan-nies kollha ta' ġod il-Kamra. Grazzi.
Grazie ħafna, Dr. Elen Kotarja. She was speaking on microbial resistance, which is very important. This is happening in Malta. There is a lot of statistics out there from humans and cancer, but also sexually transmitted infections that are on the rise because of this, and this is very important for a destination like Malta and our public health. Now I'd like to move on to Dr. James Sherlock. I'm pleased over here that we've written down artist because I know him as a researcher, as a climatologist. He models climate models around the world. He's also diversified now into biological studies and modeling. Very interesting friend of mine also, Dr. James Sherlock.
honorable ministers, esteemed guests, colleagues, friends, good morning. I'm here today representing a team of artist scientists and to introduce our project for this year's Science in the City. Why we're doing it, how we're developing it, and what we hope to achieve with it. To understand the why, you need to know who we are. I'm a climate scientist, and I am working with Dr. Marie-Claire Gatt, an ornithologist, and Dr. Sarah Schembri, a marine biologist. We aren't just researchers, we are also science communicators. Science communication is immensely important to us. We do it not just for the love of the subject, but because it's a calling. For my part, I have been presenting at Science in the City since 2013. Together with other artist scientists, we developed shows that unveil the beauty of science subjects and concepts many regard with dread. The reaction from those audiences taught me one thing, that the problem was never the subject, it was how scientists communicated it. This year, I am here with something rather different. The project is called the Peer-Reviewed Punchline. It's a stand-up comedy show performed by researchers about their own research. It runs for about an hour, allowing for a 15-minute performance for each scientist. As part of the Performance Festival Strand in November, we will be on stage at the Offbeat Music Bar in Valletta. And the choice of venue is deliberate. It's not a lecture theatre, there will be no podium, no laser pointers, and no rigid seating. Just people out for an evening with friends and family having a drink. We will be there enjoying the drink with you, sharing our experiences and poking fun at the frustrating parts of our own research. As a climate scientist, I am chronically fascinated by the way our world works and its never-ending magnificence. When I look at the challenges of our civilization, I feel an obligation to learn more, to apply the scientific method on questions that require our attention, and finally, to share these new insights with those around me. Which brings me to this year's theme, Research, Resist, Reimagine. The research part is straightforward, it's ours. But for the resistance, we are living in an age where misinformation spreads faster and more comfortably than evidence does. And this has led to blatant exploitation of the many for the benefit of the few. Part of the problem, frankly, is a stereotype. The distant, humorless academic who speaks in jargon and cannot be interrupted. So our answer to this is to reintroduce the scientist as a fellow citizen, a person with passions and interests and with knowledge that is very much worth listening to. That is what drives us to fight false narratives with facts and with humor. Which is how we're reimagining our approach. As a climate scientist, the news is often depressing, irritating, and downright infuriating. So why not discuss science with a pinch of humor and sarcasm where necessary? The problem is that none of us are comedians. And to address this rather crucial gap in our skill set, we sought out a professional, Malcolm Gallia, a multi-award winning playwright and theatre professional with a long history of stand-up and improv. He is helping us transform rough ideas from our own research into discussions about the lives of actual scientists that are genuinely absurd and occasionally delightful. Since a picture says 1,000 words, we are also reimagining the visual component of a scientific presentation. As we do our performance, each of us presents a handful of images, a handful of slides carrying only an image each. No bullet points. If the audience is reading, it's not listening. I should be honest with you, this is an experiment, and it's still in development. So if you come along in November and find that you can't laugh with us, you're very welcome to laugh at us. So join us at the Offbeat Music Bar in Valletta on the 7th and 8th November. Thank you very much.
Grazie ħafna, Dr. James Colonel. And now I would like to conclude the press conference Science in the City. Thank you very much all for coming. It's been a pleasure. We've heard some really interesting speeches today, touched on a lot of different points. The support we need, how we need to work together, and the pleasure that can be in talking to people and engaging them in ways which are new, innovative, and creative. Thank you very much, everyone, and see you. Bye.